Let me tell you the secret. Before the exploitation of black people in the 70s with Dolomite, Superfly, the Mac, before that, the word pimp in the early 1800s and 1900s meant debonair, mean gentleman. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Once black folks started calling themselves pimps, then they started demonizing, discredit, and trying to destroy it. But you got to remember, black folks did not start brothels. If you go watch any of the cowboy movies, they was pimping back then.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is. I gotta ask you about the ism, man, because there's tell us about, there's a lot of guys who came into the game, and some of them got that ism, some of them don't. And we watch No Jumper, we watch Black, we watch these shows and these podcasts where these young look like TikTok pimps, I guess. Feel like they're really doing it because they on the internet with it and they feel like they got mind control over Debo and stuff.
Well, it's a reason why you tell to hold her head down. It's a reason why you serve a pimp when you're knocking for his home. It's a reason why, you don't fuck a bitch when you first meet her. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why, you don't have a square bitch and a hustling bitch at the same time. So when these come to the game, pimping, they be on all that sucker shit. They be out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? They be talking to other bitches, they be talking to pimp, and they don't have the game. And those what we call simps, because Miss Pimpin' ain't no pimping at all. You must know the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? You cannot fuck with a bitch and she don't sock it to your pocket. That's just because that fucks up the whole thing. Because if I let a bitch come and I fuck the bitch on the first date and she ain't gave me no money, guess what? In her mind, she gonna be like, he fucking everybody else and he doing the same thing. And then that bitch that I let get in my household without breaking herself, guess what she gonna say? She gonna say, all pimps are like Ken. You know what I'm saying? And you can be with a pimp and you don't have to pay him. And that's why niggas got rules and regulations to the game, because they don't want none of that shit to be, misconstrued.
So let me ask you, as far as when you see, pimps being exploited, they got the feather in the hat, they got the linen suit. I think there's this pimp out now called the Purple Pimp. He just be walking around. It's purple. It's like,
man, those ain't pimps, man.
Yeah, I'm like, but I guess the question is, as far as the outfit, the get up, is that a big part of it?
Because let me tell you the secret. Before the exploitation of black people in the 70s with Dolomite, Superfly, the Mac, before that shit, the word pimp in the early 1800s and 1900s meant debonair, mean gentleman. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Once black folks started calling themselves pimps, then they started demonizing, discredit, and trying to destroy it. But you got to remember, black folks did not start brothels. If you go watch any of the cowboy movies, they was pimping back then. But it wasn't a black man face. Even you look at Vegas, you go to Nevada, they pimping like a motherfucker. They got a bunch of whole houses, but they don't call it. But when the black man get it, then it's a negative thing. But if you go back and you study the early history, the etymology of the word pimp, it had all positive connotations.
So, and they say, prostitution is the oldest profession in the game. That means, is a pimp the oldest profession as well? Because I'm assuming with prostitution, there had to have been someone controlling, whether woman, man, like.
No, that's not.
The pimps are,
that's
when I say pimp, I mean, of course, the man who is sending a woman out and structuring the business.
No, that's a misconception.
Okay, please.
Where did you spend your first 9 months at?
In a womb.
In a womb.
Yeah.
We all came from a womb. We all want to get back in that motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that when you think about it from that perspective, men have always, even in the animal kingdom, you see them going crazy. Men have always wanted the vagina. The vagina is king. The vagina is the power of all powers. There's nothing more powerful than that vagina. That's how pimps make their money. So women, even in the Bible, they wouldn't call prostitutes, they was called concubines. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, and whorelats, a lot of them women in the Bible were considered like King Solomon's wives. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, you know what I'm saying? Somebody must have got smart and said, I'm hungry and I need to eat. Let me charge for this power that I have. Now slavery, right? This is what slavery, how the black man get into Americanized pimping, right? So in slavery, you know, the slave masters used to rape our women. That's why you got so many light-skinned children during slavery, right? So they always raped them, but when they would take them out of the slave house and take them into the big house, you know what I'm saying, they would give them a pork chop. And even though I was married to this lady, this is my wife, I couldn't do nothing about it because I was property, I was chattel slavery, the slave master owned me. So what the brothers would do back then, they said, next time you go with master, make sure you ask for 2 pork chops. And that's when the system of manipulation begins. So when you see them brothers back in the early 20s driving them horses and carriages, those they weren't chauffeurs, they were pimps. You know what I'm saying? So they started using that system of manipulation, and they started selling the woman because the white man have always loved the black woman. That's why you see deployed them trying to take our sisters now. That's why you see every time you see Tyler Perry put a movie out, it's an interracial relationship. Every time Hollywood puts something, it's an interracial relationship because first of all, they had to move the black man out the family through welfare and affirmative action and all these other tactics that they use. And now our black women is single and they in the household by themselves. You see a lot of white men loving black women all of a sudden. You know, you got to look at the game and all this shit, man.